What's good, everybody? I'm here making this video to help out people who have a BOSS Katana amp and you're struggling with the tone. I'm tired of reading online about how the BOSS Katanas suck, and I kind of just want to help out the people who do have them so that hopefully these amps can get a better name for themselves. They're really able to do a lot, and as long as you are able to use the tone software, you can do pretty much whatever you want with them. So I hope this video is helpful. If you know anyone who's using a BOSS Katana amp, share this video with them. Hopefully this helps you out. I'll see you guys. Alright, so I'm going to start this off by just kind of explaining everything so that you guys know where everything is, how to navigate through this thing. So you're going to have a bunch of different knobs and stuff here. I would just start off with this kind of at the middle position on everything and then go from wherever you want, you know. But on the volumes, I would definitely have those up and then use your master knob in person to affect your actual in the room volume. So on your first tab here, your booster, got to make sure these are turned on or you ain't going to hear nothing. You're going to have a bunch of different options here. Same here, mod, you got a ton of different options. You can have another one with this FX, it's pretty much the same thing. You got the same options. You got two delays, so you can run one delay, you can run two delays, you can get a reverb in there. Got a solo tab where you can EQ the solo settings and be like really specific. Got a contour to where you can voice the amp pretty much however you want it to sound. You can make it sound like a Marshall, you can make it sound like an EVH, you can make it sound like a BOSS Katana. Like, you can literally just do whatever with it. You got EQ, you got an amp in and an amp out. You got two different types of EQ. You got the Paramedic and the GE10. On my amp in, I like to use the GE10, and these are my settings for the clean channel. And then on my EQ2, I got it on amp out, and these are my settings for the clean channel. You want to make sure you're doing a low cut around, so the lowest I will do it is 40 hertz. So you want to make sure all this stuff is cut out of your tone. But on the clean tone, I have it at 80 or whatever it was at, I don't know. You got a noise suppressor as well. You can change your cab resonance. On the clean tone, I'm running the vintage. You're also going to have a bunch of settings that you can mess with in the system settings right here. So you can kind of like move around where the mic is. You can change the type of mic. So on mine, I have a dynamic 57 for that grit, for that, I guess, like the metal tone, you know. And then on my other one, I have a condenser mic. So it really puts the low end out, and it also has that extra grit. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the Chug channel. Everyone always has way too much gain. Like this, I'm telling you guys, this is going to be plenty of gain. 33 on the gain, I got it set to the brown channel. Got the volume cranked. Round those settings, you guys can kind of mess with them to see what you like. You want to make sure you get like a tube screamer, distortion pedal of some sort. I personally like the tube screamer. Get the drive all the way down. There's no reason to have, there's no reason. Unless you're trying to do like a specific part of a song that like needs some like super chainsaw metal tone, you don't need to have extra drive. Just use this and this. If you want extra drive, use your gain and your treble. Got this compressor as well. This sustain is going to affect how long your bass notes, your solos, stuff like that rings out, and like how long your notes will hold out. Your attack, so like how many chugs you're going to do. This is my EQ settings for my Chug channel. This is pretty important. On my Chug channel, I cut it at 40 hertz, so we got all those low frequencies. Got it at 200 on the low mid frequency, 1.6K on the high mid, 6.3 on the high cut. I don't really need anything above that. Like, a lot of people will put it at 10K. That's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I just like mine at 6.3. I play a lot of like 7-string stuff, so I really want the low end stuff to be like prioritized. I got my noise suppressor pretty high. I see a lot of people run this anywhere from like 50 to like literally 95. I like mine around like the 80 to 90-ish zone, and the release around 10 to 20-ish usually. On my cab resonance, I have it at deep. You'll want the presence pretty decently high on your gain tone as well, so that your like squeals and everything will pop out. And then on my lead channel, it's gonna be like pretty similar settings all around, like the EQ stuff, pretty similar. I do have the extra highs on my lead channel. I do have less lows. I just cut out a little bit of the lows, prioritizing more of the mids here. Like I said, I cut out a little more of the lows on this. Got my compressor. I have more sustain on the lead so that my solos will of course like soar. Got a tube screamer on here. I got extra tone on this. And then my last channel is an Octaver, which I use a lot for like Sleep Token, Day Seeker, just like super low stuff. And I use a muffled fuzz. I do have a little bit of fuzz in there, so I have a little bit of drive for the fuzz. Got some normal gain in there. Got a compressor. And then this is the sauce right here. Heavy Octaver, it'll start off on 50-50 on them. I drop them both all the way. When I'm playing some knock loose and stuff like that, I'll throw on reverb, chorus, stuff like that. These are my EQ settings. I want the lows to punch through a little more on this one. So I literally have the low mid even to 80 hertz. That's a little excessive, but I like it. I like the bassiness. As long as you kind of just mess with all of these settings all around, you should have a decent tone coming out of your Katana. The Katana is one of the best amps for the budget. I will die on this hill, bro.